Jurisdiction of the Civil Courts under CPC 1908, Video 3, Section 21 and 21A of CPC. When objections to be raised regard to lack of jurisdiction, landmark judgments of Apex Court. Please do subscribe the channel and click bell icon to get notifications by Drive on Law. Legal provisions of Section 21 of CPC 1908. Objections of jurisdiction. No objection as to place of suing shall be allowed by any appellate or revisional court unless such objection was taken in the court of first instance at the earliest possible opportunity, and in all cases where issues are settled or at before such settlement, and unless there has been a consequent failure of justice. Means the parties has to take any objection they intend to take at regard to the place of suing only at the earliest possible opportunity in the first instance court, means in the lower court where they filed the case. If they are not taken that plea in the first instance court at the time of framing of issues or before framing of issues, then they cannot take that plea that the court does not have the jurisdiction regard to the place of suing, that is section 15 to section 20. They cannot take that plea on that ground in the revisional or appellate court unless there is a consequent failure of justice was done to their case. So except that consequent failure ground, remaining grounds they cannot take the plea in the appellate court or revisional court that the lower court does not have the jurisdiction, that is the place of suing jurisdiction is not there but the particular court, they cannot take that plea. No objection to the competency of the court with reference to the pecuniary limits of its jurisdiction shall be allowed by any appellate or revisional court unless such objection was taken in the court of first instance at the earliest possible opportunity, and in all cases where issues are settled or at before such settlement, and unless there has been a consequent failure of justice. So here also the party cannot take regard to the pecuniary limits, means that the court does not have the pecuniary limits to try the case, means the case does not come under the purview of the monetary limits of the court. They cannot take that at the stage of the revision or appellate court. So if they have any objections that the particular case does not come under the pecuniary limits of the so and so court, they have to take that objection at the earliest possible opportunity, that is before framing of the issues or at the time of framing of the issues, but later stage they cannot take that plea in the appellate courts. And only one exception is there, unless it is noticed by the party that consequent failure of justice had happened, and if the opportunity is not given, they will be means entering into some problem, or that if they shows that to the only reason the court allows, if not in other reasons it won't allow. No objection as to the competency of the executing court with reference to the local limits of its jurisdiction shall be allowed by any appellate or revisional court unless objection has taken in the executing court at the earliest possible opportunity. Means for execution the parties, after passing of the degree, the parties means the degree holder files the execution petition under order 21 of CPC. While the executing court is executing the particular degree and the same is taken into the consideration by the court, but at that time the party, means the petitioner or if not the defendant, respondent, not taken the plea, that the court do not have the competence to execute the particular degree on the local limits of the jurisdiction, then he cannot take that plea in the appellate court or revisional court unless the consequent failure of justice was done, means is done for him. So only that reason on that reason it will be allowed, but in other reasons it is not allowed. And whatever the objection regarding to the place of suing, or if not pecuniary jurisdiction, or means regard to the execution, they have to take at the earliest possible opportunity in the lower courts only, means in the first instance courts where the petitions were tried. Later they can't take, it is prohibited, means they are not allowed to take the same plea at the time of the revision or appeals. where the court in execution of the money degree passed by it attached property of the judgment debtor situate outside its territorial jurisdiction and subsequently transfer the degree for execution to the competent court, and that court rejected the claim of the purchaser of the property from the judgment debtor after the attachment, holding that since the purchase was after attachment, no title passed to the purchaser claimant. The failure of the claimant to raise the plea as illegality of the attachment at the earliest before the trial court cannot preclude him from raising the same in appeal for the first time, particularly when the degree holder did not object to the said plea being raised by the purchaser claimant, because once it held that the attachment was invalid, a failure of justice would be apparent if the purchaser was precluded from raising the objection as to the attachment being without jurisdiction only because it was not raised before the executing court. So if the money attachment of the property was done, and if at the time of the sale of the particular land, if the objections were not raised by the JDR, and he is not allowed to raise the means objections regard to the that sale proceedings, then that means here the sale is not in a proper way, means the execution was not done in a proper way. So in that cases, then the attachment itself becomes the fertile. So in that way, if it is not in a valid way, then obviously means here the JDR get the opportunity to take the plea in the executing, means in the appellate court regard the issue which was not taken into the consideration in the executing court. So because in the apparent the purchaser was precluded from raising the objection, means here in every rules and according to the rules and regulations of the execution, in every stage the purchaser and also the JDR gets the opportunity to take any of the plea. So if it is prohibited, precluded, then it is not considered as a proper execution. So here the JDR gets the opportunity, or if not the purchaser gets the opportunity to go to the appellate court to raise the plea which was not taken in the lower court, that is the executing court. Plea as to the lack of jurisdiction. New plea as to lack of jurisdiction of civil court can be raised at any stage of the proceedings as it goes to the root of the matter, and therefore it can be raised at any stage. Moreover, the decision of this question does not require any investigation into facts. The judgment of a court without inherent jurisdiction, however precisely certain and technically correct, is a nullity. Section 21 is an exception to the above rule and affects to cure for all purposes defects due to want of territorial jurisdiction except under the conditions specified in it. So here the regular plea for the lack of jurisdiction can be taken in at any stage, but here is the exception is provided under section 21, that only at the earliest possible opportunity the party has to take the means objection regard to the lack of jurisdiction. Objection regarding territorial jurisdiction does not go to roots of jurisdiction. It is well settled that the objection as to the local limits of a court does not stand on the same footing as an objection to the competence of a court to try a case. Competence of the court to try a case goes to the very root of the jurisdiction, and where it is lacking, it is a case of inherent lack of jurisdiction. On the other hand, an objection as to the local jurisdiction of a court can be waived, and this principle has been given a statutory recognition by enactment like section 21 of the CPC. In order that an objection to the place of suing may be entertained by the appellate or revisional court, the fulfillment of the conditions mentioned under the section 21. All these three conditions must coexist. So the validity of the degree can be challenged in execution proceedings only on the ground that the court which passed the degree was lacking an inherent jurisdiction, in the sense that it could not have season of the case because the subject matter was wholly foreign to its jurisdiction, or the defendant was dead at the time of the suit and has been instituted or degree passed, or some other grounds which could have the effect of rendering the court entirely lacking in jurisdiction in respect of subject matter of the suit or over the parties to it. So three grounds should be fulfilled: that the court does not have the subject matter jurisdiction, and at the time of the passing of the judgment or dealing with the case, the court is new to the particular jurisdiction, and at the time of passing of the degree or taking of the trial, the degree holder or judgment debtor died, and some evidence is not produced in the court. So if they take that grounds, then by existing of these three grounds only, the court accepts in the revisional or appellate court. Section 21 is a rule of prudence as well as a rule of guidance. If by an act of omission or commission, the defendant, having raised the plea as to jurisdiction, does not even ask for trial of the issue on such jurisdiction as a preliminary issue, and allows the trial to go on the usual course on all the issues, he should be deemed in such circumstances to have waived his objection as to the jurisdiction. Means if the defendant not taken any of the plea at earliest stage, and then it is considered that after framing of the issues, the court can move with the judgment after trial, because here defendant, the ground provided under section 21 for the parties considered as a waived, because they not taken the plea at the earliest possible opportunity. All these three conditions must coexist. The validity of the degree can be challenged in execution proceedings only on the ground that the court which passed the degree was lacking inherent jurisdiction, in the sense that it could not have been season of the case because the subject matter was wholly foreign to the jurisdiction, or that defendant was dead at the time of the suit and has been instituted or degree passed, or some other grounds which could have the effect of rendering the court entirely lacking in jurisdiction in respect of the subject matter of the suit or over the parties to it. So I said above the condition for the subject matter. Now the same condition follows here, that the three grounds should be satisfied, then only the objection can be allowed by the revisional or appellate courts. Section 21 is called as a rule of prudence and also rule of guidance. Lack of jurisdiction and irregular exercise of jurisdiction. A marked distinction exists between cases in which courts lack jurisdiction to try them and where jurisdiction is irregularly exercised by courts. In the former case, the court ought not to have entered upon trial to the suit. In the latter, it could have avoided that, but necessarily not. So, when the court is not competent to try the case, if it is tried the case, it is considered as a lack of jurisdiction. And irregular exercise of the jurisdiction, here the objection was not taken by the court, not taken by the parties, then the court proceeded with the case. So competency of the court to try an action goes to the roots of the matter, and when such competency is not found, it has no jurisdiction. If the court does not have the competency to try the suit, it is considered as the court does not have the jurisdiction to try the case. But objection based on irregular exercise of jurisdiction is a matter which parties can waive. Means the parties, if they are not taking irregular exercise of the jurisdiction, the parties, if they intend to waive it, they won't want to take that plea, then that is not considered as the court does not have the jurisdiction. Equally well settled in the proposition that where there are two or more competent courts, then both parties means the plaintiff can take any court. Means if the court has two courts has the competency to try the case, the choice is left to the plaintiff that he can file the suit in any of the court. Can entertain the suit. Parties to the concerned transaction can contract to the west jurisdiction in one such court to try the disputes. In such a contract is clear, unambiguous, not vague, and explicit. It is not hit by section 28 of the Contract Act. This should not be understood as parties contracting against statute, but this is one of many series of contracts available in mercantile practice and forged in the name of commercial expediency. However, invariably the whole question resolves itself on one of the fact: if the parties at the inception applied their mind and choose one of the competent court at the court where the dispute have to be adjudicated, so depends upon them, so they can demonstrate their level and give the case. They can file the case in the court where they intend to file. Court ought not to be institute to find a different contract between the parties. So court cannot say that they have to file in a particular court. The parties will have a privilege to go for any of the court to file the case. However, it does not apply to the territorial or pecuniary jurisdictions. In case an error is committed by the court in exercising the jurisdiction with respect to pecuniary territorial, the decision so given will be void. It will be considered as an irregular exercise of jurisdiction. No doubt party has a right to raise the issue, but at the earliest possible time, and once the court proceeded with the matter and given the decision, the same cannot be raised at the appellate stage, as all observed in the case of Kiran Singh versus Chaman Pashwan, AR 1954 SC 340. This is a landmark case. In this, the court clearly mentioned that the parties have the objection, means right to raise any of the objection, but that should be at the earliest possible opportunity. However, when the error is committed by the court with respect of the subject matter jurisdiction, the decision so given by the court is null and void. Means if the parties not taken the plea of the jurisdiction also, if the court overrided its powers regard to the subject matter, and if the court dealt, then the judgment passed by the court is considered as a null and void, and it falls within the ambit of lack of jurisdiction, and the issues of such error can validly be raised at any stage of the proceedings, even at the appellate level as well. So regard to the subject matter jurisdiction, if the court does not have the subject matter jurisdiction, but even though the court tried the particular case, then the judgment is considered as a null and void. And here the parties, even though they not raise the issue at the earliest possible opportunity, also they can raise the plea at any stage of the suit, of the earlier suit, first instance suit, and even also in the revision and appellate courts they can raise the issue. Section 21A bar on suits to set aside degree on objection of place of suing. No suit shall lie challenging the validity of a degree passed in a former suit between the same parties or between the parties under whom they are, or them claiming litigating under the same title or any ground based on an objection as to the place of suing. Means if the judgment is passed by the court and if the parties cannot question that to set aside the particular degree regard to the place of suing. So here the place of suing explanation means the expression former suit means a suit which has been decided prior to the decision of the court, which the validity of the degree is questioned. So where he is questioning the validity of the degree, before that the judgment was passed. So the former suit is considered as a valid, and here he cannot ask for the set aside. Set aside is not allowed in the particular regard to the objection of the place of suing. So whether or not the previously decided suit was instituted prior to the suit in which the validity of such degree is questioned. So if he intend to the question regard to the place of suing, he can go for the appeal or revision, and by taking the grounds which were mentioned under section 21. But here he cannot ask for the court to set aside the degree which was passed by the court, raising the objection that the court does not have the jurisdiction regard to the place of suing. This is about the topic of the objections regard to the place of suing and what objections can be taken. Thank you, and please do subscribe the channel and click bell icon to get the notification by Drive on Law. In jurisdiction we took the 3 videos. First part, video 1, video 2 and video 3. In the video 1 we said that what do you mean by the jurisdiction, and how the jurisdiction comes, means what role plays regard to the jurisdiction, and where the parties has to file. And second video we explained about the types of jurisdictions, that is pecuniary and territorial and subject matter jurisdiction. And in video 3 we explained about the objections can be raised by the parties regard to the jurisdiction mentioned under section 21 and 21A. Thank you very much.